Hey everyone, it's Jen here, and you're watching Living the Catholic Life. I'm doing this video today because I finally conceded to do what God has asked me to do. I've been fighting this for a few weeks now because it was something that I felt uncomfortable talking about, and honestly, it's pretty horrific, and it's not always something that you talk about in mixed company or among other people. But at Mass today, God put the sledgehammer down, and this was one of the things that He told me that I needed to do, because He gave me this dream or this vision, if that's however you want to put it, because He wanted people to know that this is how He sees things. So it was actually March 5th that I had this dream, and this is my journal. This is my spiritual journal where I only put things that pertain to my life with God in, and it's been very helpful because I oftentimes will go back and see what I've written, and it will give me a clue as to how far I've gotten or something I didn't see before that I see now. But anyway, I must put this disclaimer. This is not for the faint of heart, nor is this video for children. So if you have any children in the room that can hear, please either excuse yourself or them, or put in your earbuds so you can hear what I have to say without frightening anyone. And I guess I'll just kind of read you the entry somewhat, and then I'll just comment on it afterward. Wednesday, March 5th. I had the most horrific dream this morning. Something like zombies were attacking me, which I later figured out was like just demons and people. They were attacking people and man-eating. I saw people skinned alive and dragged off. People missing limbs, patches of skin, or chunks from their sides. They got a hold of me and started playing with me too. Played with me too, trying to stab me, even eat me. One came at me with some kind of drill or something to scare me. One bit my hand and ripped a bit of skin to see my reaction. But it didn't hurt. It didn't affect me, so he stopped. I finally got free and hid, and I just watched then. These things were so demented. They would almost completely rip the skin off a man, but leave his manhood alone, perfect, and sexually pleasure him. They even held their manhood in their hands, cradling them as the most precious items in the world. The funny thing is that people weren't dying because of what they were doing. They still lived, just like that. It even seemed that these men paired with these things, these zombie demon things, in relationships, even knowing what it was doing to them. There were some people that were able to stay safe in hiding, but they were very few. Then something happened. I can't be certain if something sounded, it may have, or just word got out that the one was coming. These things dropped all they were doing and ran in horror and into hiding. The weird thing about it is that they were hiding in blatantly obvious places, like covering up with a blanket or standing behind curtains, where the feet stick out. They were in terrible fear, but they couldn't hide. My summation. This is how God sees mankind. This is what evil does to them. But they let it happen because lust is gratifying enough to keep them from coming to the glory of God. My seeing these people in different states of bodily destruction was a gauge for how deep in sin they are. How they can live perfectly happy in this horrid state they are in, as long as Satan keeps them distracted with physical pleasure. While we are in this life, this is what we face. But those that seek the Lord are kept from these horrors, protected even from the evil others are steeped in. Usually when I have dreams like this, it is from Satan, but I believe this one is from God. He was showing me just how horrid things are down here, and this is what he sees constantly. This is the ruin of the people he loves so much. If I was God, the world would be over. We must pray fervently for his forgiveness and mercy. It is almost too late, I think, but we must pray for those that sin, that the Holy Spirit make them see that they are open enough to receive him and change their hearts. Jesus can heal all, no matter how far gone. That was a very horrific dream, and to see, it seems as though like the skin was the shield almost, like, you know, the skin protects your body from disease and bacteria and all that stuff. It was almost like that's what the skin was doing here. Once these demons got you skinned, you were theirs. I mean, they would skin everything except for your private parts, which they kept in perfect order and even almost religiously looked at that, you know, held them in esteem. Like, this is everything right here. And I remember seeing one of these things. This man was laying on the street, completely filleted. I mean, just open and totally grotesque. But the whole area of his private parts was perfect. And this thing was just cradling his manhood in his hands and then began pleasing him. And all of a sudden, his pain stopped, his screaming stopped, and he just laid there in ecstasy. Like I said, this has been very hard for me. God has been fighting with me on this for weeks because I feel very uncomfortable. And, it's horrific to even think about it, but this is what he's telling me, is that this is what he sees in us. You know, people dragging themselves around, totally filleted. One arm missing, one leg missing, and they're just doing this, you know, along the pavement. But as long as their sexual organs are intact and they're still receiving the pleasure, the physical pleasure they're getting, all is well. And they don't seem to care. And it's not really the state of their body, obviously. It's representative of their soul. And I don't know why I'm just so emotional, because it just hit me so hard. And it was so graphic. Like, did it really need to be that way? But I guess it did, because that's what he sees. And can you imagine seeing the children you love, seeing your kids, or God sees this as his children, seeing that and knowing they have free will to keep doing what they're doing and not even noticing that this is what's, not even caring. They probably notice, but not even caring. And then to have the one come. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not going to even make any presumptions about that. I'm not going to make any predictions about that. But I can say that, you know, these things were definitely evil, because when the one, God, showed up, you know, they just scattered like mice or cockroaches when you turn the light on. But they can never really hide from God, because God knows all and he sees all. He sees everything that we do. He knows what we do in the dark is what we do in the light. He knows what we do in public. He knows what we do behind closed doors. And people, if you could only feel what I felt when I dreamt that, you would do everything you could to get yourself out of that state. If you are in any form of sexual addiction, whether it be self-pleasure or pornography or anything that you're doing that is against the will of God, pray that the Holy Spirit come to you and help you overcome this. Because it is horrific to God. It is horrific in his eyes. And if you love God, you do not want him to see you that way. So that's it. I had to get that out because I promised him I would today, regardless of how I ended up. So there you have it. I pray for you all. I pray for all of humanity, that we may all become closer to God, because that is the only way we're going to fix anything in this world. Until next time, God bless.